Gentry Custom. We have been bored since everything has been shut down and thought we would do something nice for the people around us in our community. We're non-essential. We do residential cabinetry. We're a custom cabinet shop here in Tacoma, Washington. And we figured, hey, what the hey, let's make some stuff for kids. I have kids. They're bored. My wife's going insane. So we decided to make a bunch of birdhouses and projects that you can do at home with your children. In each kit, you'll get a piece of paper here. It describes who we are and has plans on the birdhouse and some brief descriptions on how to assemble it. Now, make sure you always wear safety gear, and Mom and Dad, you'll likely want to be the one driving the hammer, because hammers can hurt fingers, and little fingers are more prone than others. You'll need a hammer. You'll need a pair of scissors, and you'll need primer and paint. So you'll start by getting a bag. Inside the bag, you'll have a piece of sandpaper for knocking down hard edges and prepping for paint, a piece of dowel for the perch on your birdhouse, and a whole bunch of nails. Start by cutting open your kit and pulling out the pieces and laying them out. Now the pieces are all cabinet grade hardwood, so there'll be a hodgepodge of oak and maple and birch and pretty much everything I've used in the last 3 months to build cabinetry. To my existing customers, the scraps from your cabinets helped make these birdhouses. So because we're a small local mom and pop, all the hardwood that I buy, I have a hard time throwing away because I bought it, and that's a lot of money. So I hold on to it until I can find something cool to do, like this. So you'll have a left and a right wall, and a bottom. Those will be your smaller square pieces. You'll have a front and a back. The one with the hole and the dowel hole for the perch is your front. The one without is your back. And you'll have two roof pieces. They are longer than the walls. One is narrower than the others. That's because you're going to do a half lap joint. The wider one will go over the top of the shorter one. Start by laying out your pieces and start poking nails into the holes. Fill up all your holes with the nails so that you're ready to put the components together. I'm going to do this in two different builds. So I'm going to start by putting the roof together as one, and then when the roof is its own component, I'll build the walls and then rest it on top of. Line it up so it's flush by flush. Use your hammer and drive it together. Once again, Mom and Dad, you probably want to do this depending on the age of your children. My kids are 4 and 5, or 4 and 6, sorry. And I don't think I would let either of them do it, and they have grown up in a cabinet shop, so.
Madeline could do this.
She did. In fact, last night she picked up a wood shim and hands it to me and goes, "Daddy, this is fir. Fir is a softwood." I was very, very proud. So now that we have our roof component as one, you can plug up these holes with nails, and you can start to build the lower. I'm just going to stick a couple in here for now. You don't need to see me fill up all the holes. I've pre-drilled all the pilot holes and all the proper placements, so you don't have to worry about it. You can just build and go. That way you don't need any special tools or machinery. So now let's do the bottom. I'm going to start with the back, the left wall and the right wall, and the bottom. So start by taking your components, standing them up on end, like so, and setting the back onto it. Now you're going to flush and flush. The very bottom of it, you'll want to flush out with the... So here, we'll flush out our side wall and the bottom, and when you've got it where you want it, gently tap your nail in a little bit there, flush here and here, and gently tap your nail in a little bit here. By not trying to drive it all the way, you ensure that it doesn't move on you as you're building it, and it stays flush as you hammer. Once you've got them started, drive them home. Now, we're going to do the same to the opposite side. Now you'll note that this has holes in it. Yours will not. This was just while I was building my mock-up. These are my sample pieces, thus the Sharpie. Yours will not have Sharpie. Yours may, however, have stickers, or pencil lines, or other hodgepodge things left over from the components as I was building kitchen cabinets. You can ignore those. So now that we've got this started, flip it over, and we're going to do the front. Now before we do the front onto the component, reach into your bag and pull out the perch stick. Little round wooden dowel, already drilled out. If you have wood glue, Type Bond 3 would be best for outdoor use, but you're going to put wood glue on there. Without it, it'll be perfectly fine. Drive it until you bottom. Now if you want to drive it, there's those stickers I was talking about. If you want to drive it through a little bit, you can. That way the perch doesn't stick out so far and it gives the birdies a little hop spot, but that's not necessary. They're quite agile and they don't need it. So now we'll do the same, but because the opposite side has already begun, or we've nailed it, it should be substantially easier to keep square. Remember, keep your fingers away from the hammer and your nails so you don't crush your fingertips. Most of my hammers are usually air-powered, so bear with me as I put this together. Not accustomed to driving an actual, club or rock on the end of a stick. This is the perfect job for your children, pre-filling the nail holes as the components are laying off to the side, and then they can hand it to you and it's ready to go. That way they're helping and you're running the hammer. I know I just told you to keep your fingers away from the hammer. I do this for a living and a little bit more confident than most. You likely want to keep your fingers away. So now, you're going to center the front and the back. It'll be about 3/8 in on each side. Doesn't have to be perfect. As long as it's not flush, the nail should grab. Take your component, gently tap in your nails. By having a little bit of a bite on all 4 nails, it'll prevent the roof from shifting around as you nail it down. Now you can drive your nails in. Now, for the sake of brevity, I have not put every nail in this. Otherwise, this video would be very long, you watching me hammer every single one. But with 1 or 2 nails in each component, you can see we've made a birdhouse. You got a nice little hole there and a perch for the birdie. Now you take this outside and go buy some Kills exterior primer in a spray paint can at Lowe's or Home Depot and prime it, and then take your little ones and let them paint whatever they want on there. Before you can paint, though, there's one more step I need to show you. In each kit, we've sent a piece of 150 grit sandpaper. Wonderful job for the little ones. You'll want to watch for slivers, as this plywood can tear out. So you're just going to knock down the hard edges, blend the pieces together, and anywhere you've got a shiny surface, sand down a little bit. So this is all UV cured finish. For my cabinetry, it makes a wonderful finish. And for outdoor use, it'll make a good undercoat for your paint and help protect the plywood. You, however, will need to scratch it and scuff it up with your sandpaper in order for the paint to stick to it. So just sand it out. Doesn't matter the orientation or the direction you sand, because you're going to paint it. And we're not trying to sand it all the way down, just scuff it up. Now that piece right there is ready for paint. Once you've primed it all, set your little ones out with either markers or little paint supplies, and they can paint it up to look like a gingerbread house or a nice Victorian, or in my case, my children and I are going to paint this to look like our cabinet shop. When you're all done, you can clear coat it with an exterior grade finish or just stick it out. So when you put the finish on there, it should last for a couple years longer, but still a fun project to keep you all entertained and busy while you're stuck at home. From our family to yours, Gentry Custom, we're happy to help. Should you ever need a kitchen, think of us. But in the meantime, have fun with your little ones.